is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to you with a quick video. I wanted to let you guys know I got some new merchandise available, not just t-shirt anymore. I got different type of t-shirts, different type of shirts and logos that you can purchase on my spread shirt, and also hoodies now. We have expanded and added more to the channel and more merchandise for the brand. Thanks for supporting. It will be in the description and the links will be in the comment section below. Thanks for helping me and supporting the movement. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'm going to check out the video. What's good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to you with a quick video. We're going to talk about Jabari Parker and his career so far, the ups and downs of a guy that was at one point considered the #1 high school recruit, a 5-star athlete, a guy that a lot of people felt could go #1, even though he did get surpassed by Wiggins going into senior year and in college. And then Wiggins obviously got drafted #1, and Jabari stayed at #2 in the draft, and they was going neck and neck for Rookie of the Year. Into Big Bari is what I call him, because I live in Wisconsin, as you guys know, and he got drafted to the Bucks. He goes with the ACL injury. Andrew Wiggins goes off to win the Rookie of the Year and the Rising Star Challenge, making a name for himself, and we all know how that ended up turning out. He has been a disappointment. And Jabari will come back and average 20 points for a season, which we all feel like he can do. Also, at the end of the day, Jabari Parker went back to Chicago, his home, and couldn't even finish the whole season there after they gave him a 2-year contract, with one of them being a team option. And at the end of the day, that did not work out, and then they traded him the same season they signed him to the Washington Wizards. And he has been a better fit in Washington because they actually used Jabari Parker the right way. And I think Jabari Parker, a guy that has went through multiple career-threatening injuries, and to be able to bounce back and still have that burst, still be happy, still be athletic, because he wasn't really known as a super athlete. But even with the injuries, he can blow past people. He can still finish above the rim pretty easy. I have to give Jabari credit for not quitting. I have to give Jabari credit for being able to handle the storm, like going back to Chicago. Everybody was excited. Everybody wanted to see what was going to happen. Some people even had the Bulls making the playoffs. I didn't, but a lot of people did, especially in the East, because the East is weak. You don't even have to win 40 games this year. It looked like they even make it to the playoffs in the East. And if you do, you might just have to win 40 or 41, which means you 500 or worse just to make the playoffs. So I think that's the part that's crazy, is that Jabari Parker had all that hype, and he's shown his ability to score. He's shown that he can be a guy that can create shots consistently. Only problem is Jabari Parker never really developed the rest of his game. You could give him a little bit of pass because of the injuries. It's hard to develop your game when you constantly have to rehab the first couple years of his career. The time you spend in rehabbing is the time you can be working and adding on your game. Jabari Parker, even in college, was never known as a defender. Coming into the draft and being in high school, he was never known as an elite defender. He was never known as a defender in general, and that translated to the NBA. He is one of the worst defenders because he doesn't try. It's easy to blow past him, and he doesn't stay locked in for 48 minutes or even the 30 minutes that he plays. And he even said it himself, people in the NBA don't play defense, even though you should still try and want to play defense. He admitted that he doesn't care that much about defense, and that's not a good thing, but he still got a contract, and he still got somebody that wanted him because they traded for him. So I guess they don't really care about that mentality because they signed him and they traded for him, meaning people want him and they don't really care because they still starting him in Washington. So I think that's the thing that's crazy about Jabari Parker's career, is the fact that you see so much talent and you see so much potential in him with his Wizards team coming off the bench, giving you that automatic bucket, and he still has been able to become that, a guy that you can just get a ball to and he'll find a way to put in the basket. But he definitely never became a great three-point shooter. He never really became a great playmaker. When you think about Jabari Parker in high school, you've seen so much potential in him because he was so NBA ready when it came to being physical, when it came to being mobility, and when it came to the fact that he's only 17, 18 years old, and he didn't even go to college at that point, and even when he did, he looked it pretty good. So you think that once he get to the NBA, you can iron out a lot of his weaknesses, and you can eventually turn them into strengths. But since he's been in the NBA, and I give him somewhat of a pass because of injuries, that you have to rehab and you have to focus on getting back to where you was or a little bit of where you used to be, and you can't really practice on working your game because you're rehabbing. But for Jabari Parker to be so young, he's still only 23. He'll turn 24 this month, and I think a lot of people forget that Jabari Parker is that young because he has been in the league so at a young age that people forget that he's not even 25. And that's the crazy part about it, is the fact that he is only 24 years old this month, and he looks like a guy that's just going to be a sixth, seventh, eighth guy off a bench. He doesn't really show the superstar potential because he hasn't been able to fill out and complete the rest of his game the way a lot of people thought he would be able to. He ended up just being a finished product because the same way he entered the league is basically the same way he plays now, which means he hasn't really changed or developed that much since entering the NBA, even though he still is young and he's starting to be more healthier. I definitely want to see what they're going to do with him in Washington. Is they just going to rent him for them this season and let him go? Which is good because you trade Otto Porter, and now you got a guy that you can just let go and you get your cap space back, and you can use it on somebody else that you want. Or you can always just waive him and just use the cap space in the future because John Wall is going to be gone for a majority of next year, if not the whole season, which people said. So you don't really need him because you're not going to really be able to build a contender with John Wall sapping so much of your cap, and he's not going to be able to play, so you're not really getting nothing for him. But he's on your salary cap like that. But I feel kind of crazy because I thought Jabari Parker was going to be very good, just like everybody else, and I thought that he would at least make an All-Star team. And if he's coming off the bench for the rest of his career, it's going to be very hard for him to even do that. Now, like I said, he did average 20 points a game at one point, something that we all thought he can do, but he has never been even able to get back to that level. And even that season, he didn't play a lot of games, but he showed his ability to be a bucket. But that doesn't show superstar potential because I thought Jabari Parker would be a better playmaker. I thought he'd be a guy you can run your offense through. I thought he'd be a guy that can take over games and be a beast. And he showed signs of being a quality scorer, but he doesn't show signs of being an elite scorer. He doesn't show signs of being a guy that can carry your franchise, and that's what you want out of a number 2 pick. That's what you want out of a guy that you feel will be destined to destroy the NBA when he gets there, and he has fell far from that expectations since he's been in the NBA. And it's sad because he is a guy that I wanted to see succeed. He was a guy with a lot of hype, and coming into the league, he was starting to prove it his rookie year that he can possibly be something special. And he has basically fallen so far from that to the point where he's just going to be a rotation player. Well, I ain't going to say rotation player. He's going to be a guy that's going to get quality minutes. But can he be a quality guy on a team that can win it all? That's the rotation player. Can I really trust and give Jabari Parker 25 to 30 minutes in a playoff game for 7? You know, playoff series go to 7 games. In 7 games, can I give Jabari Parker valuable minutes against great teams in the second, and in the conference finals, and then in the NBA finals? That's something that he's really going to have to find himself going into this year. Is the fact that he's going to have to find out what he's going to do with his career at this point. For him to be young, and it looks like the Wizards not going to keep him around because he's getting paid $20+ million. It's sad to see the fact that he might just be a 7th, 8th guy on a bench and nothing more than that. So I really want to see what happens to his career 5 years from now. Will he ever find that long-term commitment? Will he ever get the ability to show that he can start and be a guy that can be an all-star? But you also got to look at it now. He doesn't look like an all-star caliber player, and that's what you want out of a number 2 pick, a franchise player, and at worst, an all-star. And he hasn't even really been able to hit that star status right now. And if his career is him just being the guy that can come off the bench and give you buckets, 10 to 15 points, like an Ennis Cancer, he can give you a double-double in the amount of minutes that you give him. That's still valuable. It still got him paid. He should be set for life. And maybe Jabari Parker getting his $20 million from Chicago, and you know, maybe his destiny is just being a guy like a Carmelo. We know what you can give us. Give him the ball in the high post, give him the ball in the low post, or, you know, put him in the offense and give him the ball in isolation and let him do his thing. And he can give us 10, 15 points, and we'll take it. But he's not going to give us any defense. He's not going to take over games consistently. He's not going to be a threat outside the three-point line because he hasn't really developed or took that many threes to even warrant a guy that can be a floor spacer. So I don't really know. He's like a tweener, a guy that can score, but a guy that's not the most efficient, a guy that can't really take over consistently, a guy that you can't really trust defensively, so you can't really give him the minutes. But he also so good offensively that he can still warrant a spot on a good team. But could he be on a championship team? Can somebody take him in and show him the ropes? Or will he push himself now that he's more healthier to reach that starter level? Because I always feel like Jabari Parker, he's a starting caliber player. Like I said, he showed he could be a star player, which is a starter. But as of right now, how much he has not developed, make him kind of hard to even do that right now. So I really want to see where he's going to be at 2 years from now. Not even the 5, just 2. Will he just be a bench player? Will he be a starter on a bad team? Or will he go to a team with a stern, hard coach that's going to iron him out mentally and give him a role on the team that he can succeed in, even if it's not being a starter, or even if they're giving up as him as a all-star caliber player, which most of us have done. So let me know what you guys think. Is Jabari Parker a bust? Is Jabari Parker a star? Can he still be a starter on a bad team? Can he be a starter on a good team? Can he be an all-star still? He can give you 20 points if you give him the touches. But is you going to win? Is that going to help you go far? Is that going to help you make the playoffs? It looks like no. So he has been really a bust because we expected more out of him. We thought Jabari Parker would be more of a franchise player coming into college and going into the draft. And he has become more of a role player at this point of his career. And that's the sad part because he's only going to be 24 this month. And it already looks like the writing is on the wall for him just being a guy that can be a rotation player on a decent to good team and being more of a 7th, 8th, or 9th player on a great team, which is not what he should have been going into the draft. So let me know what you guys think. Check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link in the description, comment section below. Check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com. Link in the description and in the comment section below. Like on Facebook to show support. Thanks for everybody like on Facebook. Thanks for everybody checking out the videos, liking the videos, and enjoying the videos. I enjoy making these videos. You guys enjoy watching. That's why I continue to go. And also, check out my playlists. I do tributes, breakdowns, and I also do NBA draft, summer league. I cover all things all NBA. I try to go every single day and make you guys a video. I enjoy that y'all watch and comment and enjoy the videos. And at the end of the day, is Jabari Parker, the career so disappointing? Is he a bust? And at the end of the day, what can he do to become that all-star player that we thought he could be?